Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. This isn't about time management hacks. We're going to dive into the architecture of a new kind of leadership, one that's all about scaling your impact way, way beyond what you can do yourself. It's about turning that constant busyness into a real legacy.
So let me ask you something straight up. Take a look at your calendar. Is it just packed? Do you ever get that feeling that you're running on a treadmill, working harder than ever, but your impact just isn't growing along with it? If that sounds familiar, you might be caught in a trap that we're about to take apart piece by piece.
For the longest time, being busy was like a badge of honor. But we need to reframe that, because today, busyness is the new leadership trap. It feels so productive, right? But in reality, it's one of the biggest and, honestly, one of the most sneaky obstacles to actually scaling your impact. So first, let's really dig into this problem. We're going to pull back the curtain on this busyness trap and show you exactly why it's so easy to fall into and why it's so dangerous when you do. Think about it for a second. All that activity, the back-to-back meetings, the endless emails, the constant firefighting, it's not just inefficient. It's actually a smokescreen. It's hiding the real bottleneck, that single constraint that's holding your entire organization back from actually scaling up. And this, right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the problem. There's a huge conflict here. See, the things you do to be busy are the exact opposite of the things you need to do to build scale. One is about you constantly doing the work. The other is about creating systems that do the work for you. Okay, so we're all on the same page. Busyness is the problem. But why is it so destructive? Let's zoom in on what I like to call the quiet killers. The ways this mindset just silently sabotages a leader's real potential. This slide lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the busy mind. It's totally reactive, right? It gets stuck overthinking tiny details, chasing perfection, and because of that, it misses the big picture opportunities. But then you have the strategic mind. It operates from a place of clarity. It only focuses on what's absolutely essential, and because of that, it doesn't just wait for opportunities, it literally creates them. And busyness, well, it's the perfect fuel for these quiet killers. Perfectionism turns you into a micromanager. Fear stops you from making those bold moves that scale requires. And your comfort zone? Well, it pretty much guarantees you'll keep getting the same results you've always gotten. These aren't loud failures. They're the silent anchors holding you right where you are. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's start talking about the solution. And I'll tell you right now, the answer isn't some new app or a productivity hack. It's an internal shift. It's about building the mindset you need for genuine scale. And here's the most important point of all. You cannot build scalable systems out there in the world until you've built a scalable mindset in here, in your head. All that external growth you're looking for is just a reflection of this inner change. This is the core of it all. Adopting what's called a scalable identity. It really comes down to asking yourself one fundamental question. Do you measure your value by the tasks you check off your to-do list, or do you measure it by the systems you build, the teams and processes that can grow and thrive without you having to be involved in every little thing? That's the entire game. This is the transformation that so many leaders just completely miss. Your growth is tied directly to how you see yourself. The second your identity shifts from being a doer to being a builder, everything else, your actions, your priorities, your impact will start to follow. All right, so mindset is key. We get that. But how do we actually make it real? Let's build out the framework, the actual steps that get us out of that doing trap and into a scaling motion. This is your new mantra, your new operating principle. The goal is no longer to add more to your plate. It's about ruthless subtraction. It's about having the courage to say no to 100 good ideas so you have the space to say yes to that one thing that is truly essential. So here it is, a simple 3-step framework. It all starts with mental clarity. You can't have a strategy if you don't have awareness. Once you have that clarity, you can isolate the essential, cutting through all the noise to find the one or two things that really move the needle. And finally, you create small rules, simple systems built around those essential things. And it's these small, consistent rules that over time create massive, massive scale. Okay, let's bring this all home. A new mindset and a new framework are great, but they are built and sustained by just one thing, your habits. And believe it or not, that enormous gap between a busy leader and a scalable one, it can often be bridged by changing just one core habit. This isn't about some massive life overhaul. It's about targeted, focused, consistent change. And this is really the final takeaway. Your identity, your mindset, your entire leadership style. It's all just a lagging measure of your daily habits. What you do every single day, consistently, is what will ultimately determine the scale you achieve, period.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Don't worry about tomorrow or next week. What is the one habit you can change today? Maybe it's blocking off 30 minutes on your calendar just to think. Maybe it's finally delegating that one task you always do yourself. What is the one small rule you will create right now to start your shift from busy to scalable?